As you clicked on this video, you probably expected me to talk about The Way of the Superior Man, 48 Laws of Power, Atomic Habits, books like that, which I think they have pretty good information, stuff that you can actually learn about. But there's only one book that helped me the most in my entire self-improvement journey. I'm going to tell you about it, what it talks about, and hopefully you'll go buy it yourself. The book is the Bible. You may or may not have seen this coming, but let me tell you some basic things that it talks about before you click off this video or you get too skeptical. There are principles that everyone on self-improvement talks about, like no fat, building an aesthetic physique, getting a successful business, talking to people, just things that you would love to be able to do. Abilities that if you could snap your fingers and be able to do them efficiently, you would. Thing is, life doesn't work like that. That's exactly what the Bible teaches. Life doesn't work like that. But even so, in following God, in the pursuit of these things, you will get better. All of these principles are talked about in the Bible. Not only that, your mental health will improve greatly. Not only learning about the sacrifice of Jesus, but just the wisdom that's in the book is really good for anyone on their self-improvement journey. Everyone in the world is negative now. People would come up to you with some sort of dream or aspiration and people will knock them down. You've done this sometimes. I've done it and I feel terrible about it, to be honest with you. We should be more positive. And the book teaches that. Not only about being loving to yourself, but also loving to other people. These things are talked about in this book. How to get successful is talked about in this book. Don't get me wrong. These books have incredible wisdom and knowledge to them. But this entire collection, just concentrated into the Bible, into this one book, has helped me more out of any other ones. If you're looking for any specific translation, I suggest the NLT, New Living Translation. It's easier to understand, it's easier to digest. But you could really go with any other translation if you want to. But I just want to stress that out of every other book, this has helped me the most. Don't overthink like, oh, I'm going to go buy all these 5 books and I'm going to get to read all of them. A lot of people just go into that whole book mode and they start buying a bunch of stuff and they end up not reading it. It just looks cool on their desk, right? Don't go for that. Go minimalistic. Buy one book. And one book that has everything is the Bible. Trust me. That is the #1 cheat code that I have. Book-wise, it teaches you everything, man. It teaches you about purpose. It teaches you about the pursuit of business. It teaches you about building an aesthetic physique. It teaches you about mental health. It teaches you about wisdom. It teaches you about everything. And just a few tips for people who do end up buying this book. There is a way to read it in order, and that you could just Google it. The scriptures of Luke, Mark, all that stuff. I think you should first read of Jesus' life and what he taught, and then I suggest you move on to the wisdom literature, which is Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job. And those 3 specifically helped me the most in my entire self-improvement journey, because Proverbs has a large collection of a bunch of principles that YouTubers like Hamza teach, and it's just important to know. Ecclesiastes is very good for mental health. It teaches you that life isn't under your control, so you should enjoy every part of it. And Job gives you a straight example of how to be disciplined in following God and staying true to yourself. It more teaches you about stoicism and how he stays true to what he believes in. But trust me that this book teaches you more than you can ever learn from any other book. It's really an all-in-one solution. Please consider like and subscribe.